Hello and welcome to the Anubis Shepherd channel. I'm going to do this right off the bat because I'm terrible at this. I've already been told. I have to ask you to like and subscribe and hopefully enjoy and comment. Enjoy the video. Good morning and happy Saturday to you. For those of you that are new here, this is going to be episode 1. And I'm going to be talking here just about the Anubis Shepherd, showing you some AI videos of what the potential breed will look like, and getting you excited for our new litter that from every sign she is pregnant. This means this litter, we should actually be producing a dog that looks very similar to the one in our pictures, our AI pictures, actually. So we're really looking forward to that and looking forward to showing you puppies soon and a confirmed pregnancy soon. Enjoy the show. Hello, I'm Bee Young, and this is a brief introduction to my new dog breed, the Anubis Shepherd. First off, I'm not new to dogs, but I am new to YouTube, so please take it easy on me as I am new to making and editing videos. But I do appreciate suggestions, so leave them in the comments, and I ignore people that are mean about it. So I officially started this exactly 3 years ago on March 29 of 2022. I thought about it a lot before, but I actually officially started the project, and so I'm posting this on March 29 of 2025. Now, this all started because when I was a kid, I wanted a dog that looked like a Siamese cat, but I wanted to be really good at tracking. I love tracking. I always loved the super dark face with the black tipped ears and the bright blue eyes, along with the dark legs and tails. So the next pictures you're going to see, these are created by AI. So I want to be clear when I'm using altered pictures versus real ones. So you'll see when I show you the real pictures of my foundation breeding stock, how close the AI got the ears and the face and the body colors in some of the pictures. This one is a little longer coat than the others, and some will have longer coats at first. Now this next picture, the AI screwed up the eyes a little bit. They're kind of funny. But I do have a couple of females I'll be able to show you later that I will get a head shaped similar to this after a few generations of select breeding. This one, the AI did a really good job with. The eye color is very close with the body color reflecting real dogs in my breeding lines, and it shows the gorgeous black head available through the foundation stock I have. This one the AI made after I said to show an Anubis Shepherd doing detection work, and I'll cover in a later video the scent capabilities that should exceed current breeds used for scent detection work. This was my least favorite head shape, yet it is a possible head shape for the breed. I really liked the color it used from a picture I gave it as the reference. I really like the head shape and eye setup in this picture. Plus, the genes we have available can produce a dog that looks almost black, yet it's a super dark sable color, so I use this one for accuracy of another color that can be produced. Now, this one was my favorite one. This should reflect the look of most Anubis Shepherds, and I look forward to reaching a point when I can provide all real pictures that look like this versus any I produced. So when I first started, I didn't have those AI pictures, right? So when I started 3 years ago, what I had to first learn is what it would take to become an AKC breed. But there's a lot of these other breeds out there that they say they're a breed, but they've never gotten AKC recognition, and they won't. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to take it serious. So I went ahead and I learned that in order to become a breed, your first step is to get accepted into this thing they call the Foundation Stock Service Program. And in order to do that, you need to meet a certain whole criteria, right? And then your next step would be meeting the criteria to become in the miscellaneous breed. Once you've been in that class for a while, then you would be able to see if you met the criteria to become an AKC recognized breed. So these are all just really precise steps that you go through, and you work with the AKC Breed Club. They have a way to do this, so this is something they allow. Now, the minimum requirements to be a new breed to protect breeds that already exist is that you cannot be a cross of two already AKC recognized breeds. So you can't just be a cross like a doodle. That's why most doodles don't qualify. Nor are you available to a variation of a breed. So you can't just be another color like a white German Shepherd. They're still a German Shepherd. They're just a white German Shepherd, right? So the Anubis Shepherd is a mix of a dark black mask sable Belgian Malinois, a dark black mask, they called it a dirty face, a Goody Husky. So there's specific colors, not just those. And they have to have the double blue eyes and then a bit of German Shepherd. Now, one of the things you need in order to be in the FSS program is you have to have dogs that have 3-generation pedigrees that represent your particular mix of dog, right? Your what you call your Anubis Shepherd for me. And then if it's still developed in the United States, you have to have 40 years of a registry with 3-generation dogs, but your popularity of your breed can minimize the years needed, right? So I'll talk about that in the next section. But an important part about that is you have to be able to track those 3-generation databases. So pedigrees, so you need a database. The other thing is you need enough dogs, right? So you can get in the FSS class with less dogs, but in order to get in the miscellaneous class, you have to have a minimum of 150 dogs with 3-generation pedigree of your breed only. And then to get full recognition, you need to have a minimum of 300 to 400 dogs, right? And that's AKC won't even consider you before that. But popularity can speed things up. So one new breed had more than 1,000 in its thing, and it only took them 6 months to get out of miscellaneous class. You have to have a national breed club. So we're going to be starting an official Anubis Shepherd Association very soon. And I already on the website for all that. I'm building it now. So I'll be launching in that and telling you them. And then you have to, by showing active interest, that's how you have so many dogs. So the foundation, getting it to the FS program, is you have to fill out the questionnaire, you have to have a breed history, your first breed standard, and then photos of your breed. So you need to have bred a couple dogs first. Once you've got into the FSS program, to get into the miscellaneous class is a little bit more hard. So you got each time you go up, you got to up the. They make the requirements a little more. So your National Breed Club has to have 100 active members. This includes pet owners. This is where you need the minimum of 150 dogs with a third generation pedigree. Then you have to have the first standard you have can be kind of generalized. This has to be much more in conformity with the guidelines that they have. They only do it twice a year, so you got to be in on that. Now, once you've completed the first two steps, then you've done your FSS program, you're in the miscellaneous class. Then the rules for your club go up, everything kind of goes up. So you have to have a more unified club. Your breed standard has to be fully accepted by the AKC at this point. You have to have worked out any of that bugs that are in it. And then you're going to have held shows, and you have to have certificate of title merits. That means breeders are actually interested enough to show their dogs. The club requirements are a big deal, right? So when the AKC part, you have to have your minutes, you have to have a quarterly report that you've been submitting once you were entered into the miscellaneous class. There's a lot of requirements. So it's not just a backyard breeding, commitment. You have to, if you want to be a real breed, you have to actually put the energy into it. You have to be in 20 states minimum, right? You have to have registered litters. So again, it's important of the database that I will show you about later on. So it's about how many states you're in, how many members you have, and how you can track that. And then you have to have title requirements. So there has to be things. So our dog's going to be tracking. There'll be a lot of ours will be tracking, but almost everything has what you call confirmation, right? What the dog looks like, if it looks like the way the breed is supposed to. So we'll have confirmation things, and you have to have judge education. No judge can tell whether your dog meets the standard or not if you haven't taught them how. So you have to have these judge classes, and then the AKC will put them in their canine college that they have. So again, there's all these things you'll be working with AKC the whole time. Once you've reached this point, you're working with them very closely. Your breed's going to have to conform, and you have to have a board of directors at this point for your association, your breed association, and they have to have approved that you want to become a member, right? So you have to have voted on. This means your club's fully established. If you have more than 1,000 dogs or more in your foundation stock, then you can re-evaluate it after 6 months in miscellaneous, but it's going to still take 18 months before you get transferred as a real dog breed. So again, all of this takes time, and you have to be meticulous and thoughtful. So it made my official start date the 29th. That was when I had done all the research and figured out I could receive AKC recognition. That's when I hired a DNA consultant. Okay, so I had found this version of a Belgian Malinois. This isn't mine. I'm showing you all pictures of other dogs so you could see the research I did first. They're kind of going along with my research a little with me. Now imagine that dog with blue eyes, and that's what I saw. And I saw that's the dog I'm looking for. And that was when I started researching some Belgian Malinois, and I found a few different ones and different versions. So this is really dark legs. This is really extreme black masking. And that's what I started realizing, is that there's only a couple of breeds that actually have this black legs. You can't get it somewhere else. Even though I can get the black face, I can get a lot of the other things, I can only get this color combination in Belgian Malinois. So that's where I got one. I have one. Looks wonderful. I'll give you pictures later. But when I hired the DNA specialist, we identified that that's the EM gene. So that's a that's the masking gene, and it was really extreme in some way. It had mutated, and I'll learn all about that in another one. But that's when I learned the intermediate gene is what makes them that nice, rich brown color. This DD, BB, and SS all give me the dark. Again, increase my chances of having the black legs and what I would like. But that dupe gene, that's the eye gene. So that's a double duplication for blue eyes. That increases their chances of having double blue eyes. You want both of those duplications if possible. They can have blue eyes with one duplication, but double increases the chances. So then I discovered getting this dirty face agouti husky. So Goody is that sable coloring, but that black face, they call it dirty face in Huskies. Found out that existed. So there was a little question about whether the black mask and the Malinois will override the blue eyes and cause them not to show up. That can happen. And it actually has happened in my breeding program, and I'll talk to you more about that. So these genes are real important, but that EMEM can actually override that dupe. So then you won't see it. But there's the possibility. Now, these are not my dogs. These are crosses that I had found that already existed, and I was able to discover that this is possible, right? So once I discovered someone could do it by accident, then I, of course, can do it on purpose. And there's black legs, black face. Now, but this also showed me not all mask genes carry that black leg gene. So I have to be really careful about where I get it from. It's a beautiful black face, blue eyes, but no black legs. Look how pretty that is. Again, another very real dog. These are all different dogs. And that was one thing I found important. I needed to find enough of them to prove before I started breeding that it could happen. And that mask gene would let those blue eyes through and give me the black legs at the same time. So you see that? If you look real close, you can see there's blue eyes there. So that was proof of concept. I could actually do it. There it was in front of me. So by the 29th, I'd known all the AKC stuff, decided I was going to do a breed. By the middle of April, I'd actually hired a DNA consultant, gone over all that, kind of learned the DNA setup. And, I'll do future episodes because I don't want to make this too long because I want to learn to be able to edit better. So I want better videos for you guys, so that this is hopefully nice and simple, but I'd like to be able to do something a little more exciting in the future. And I'll go over like the breed name, pedigree database, plus more, how to get the parent, the Anubis Association going, the website, the logo. I have to do a standard, bylaws, board selection. That'll be a different episode in itself. Getting people interested and ready to participate. So I'm going to need to find qualified breeders. That's why I'm doing this YouTube. So I'm hoping to meet people and have them interested in my breed, either as pet owners or to be a breeder. Then I'll go over all the DNA consulting and the testing. Oh, the testing was a nightmare. We had a total problem with a company. I'll go over that in a future episode. But what a nightmare. We had all kinds of tests that were wrong. So we'll put that, won't ruin the surprise there, but there's a lot, and feel free to comment anything you want to know about. But one of the main things we'll talk about is like this. So where did the breed name come from? So this is the Anubis shepherd. Well, this is the god of Egypt, Anubis. You notice those big ears, those beautiful almond-shaped eyes, that fine head. That is what the name came from. So that was not too hard. There's some other technicalities. We were going to do the Anubis Malinois, but we would have had breed club sign off. And again, when I cover that, I'll cover all the legal reasons you had to choose a particular name. And then as I talked about, like for the breed club to be accepted by AKC, you need to track everything. So this will be like for issuing the numbers, the names. Those are all real dogs. And then this would be a place where they can be searched from people. So anybody who wants to be a breeder, they can find someone to breed to, find where other dogs are at. This also does pedigrees, so they'll be able to see all that. And remember, to get through the AKC program, you need to be able to track at least a 3-generation pedigree and then back up to almost 40 years, right? So trying to get all these dogs in 40 years back. It allows me to issue, this particular database lets me to issue a certificate with like a 3-generation pedigree. It allows me to do the multi-generation pedigrees up to 4. There's all kinds of little things. But yeah, you have to have a database to track all this stuff. But I'll do all this in a future episode. All right, so here are some of my dogs. So this is, first picture is going to be a picture of my puppy. Well, he's not a puppy now. This is my stud, Levi, as a puppy. Isn't he just a doll? And then the next picture is going to be him all grown up. So he's the father of 2 litters, okay? So he's had 2 litters towards the Anubis shepherd. He's had 1 litter with this female. Her name is Zara. And again, I'm going to give you introductions into each dog, and I'll do videos, right? So this is Zara and Levi together, and they've had a litter of puppies, okay? So they had the first litter that I bred. And I had a litter of full Malinois, but that was the first litter of towards the Anubis shepherd. This was from my first litter of Malinois. This is Amira. This was the mom of my second litter towards the Anubis shepherd. And this, she was bred with Levi, right? So them 2 together, aren't they gorgeous? So those 2 had a beautiful litter of puppies, and I will be providing some videos and pictures of those. It gives you hopefully something to look forward to and come back for. And then, so when Levi and Zara had puppies, the one on the couch, that is their puppy Freya. And then Amira, from her litter, her brother was Bowden. So Bowden and Freya had a litter of puppies, and that was our first F1 litter. So that was the first litter that actually had German Shepherd, Husky, and Malinois, all three breeds in one, and they would be considered an F1. So that's a foundational litter one. And I'm going to be showing videos and all kinds of fun stuff of those puppies later. So you're going to have to tune in to another episode if you want to find out why I've only had 3 litters in 3 years. It has to do with DNA and a lot of other fun stuff I hope that you'll enjoy. And then I want to give you a little taste of Kylea, who will be an upcoming litter. This is the first Malinois I bought that had all the colors I wanted. She is beautiful. She is like a thoroughbred. She's an amazing athlete. And look at those ears and that head and the head shape. Oh, she's amazing. She's going to have an amazing litter of puppies. And her puppies that will be coming up will be an F1 litter. So I have 3 F1 litters this year. Right now, this next episode is about the genetics of canine scent detection. And so in this part, you're going to learn all about why we chose the Siberian Husky more than anything else. The Siberian Husky has way more wolf level scent detection capabilities. So when you get to listen here, you'll see why that is and what genetics make them so much closer to a wolf compared to Belgian Malinois and German Shepherds. This episode is about the genetics of canine scent detection. Now, I'm not a geneticist. I'm a regular person who has learned a lot about DNA. For the Anubis Shepherd breeding program, I am the current DNA specialist as well as the founder of the breed. I analyze the research out there, and then I apply it to this breeding program. For this video, I'm going to discuss an overview of my research. I will try to provide my interpretation of that research in a usable format for the average Anubis Shepherd owner as well as future and current breeders. If you want more details, ask in the comments, and if there's enough interest, I will do a more in-depth video later. The main genetic factors being looked at currently for the Anubis Shepherd are the number of olfactory receptors and the number of functional olfactory receptor genes, often shown as FORGE or functional OR gene in studies, and the genetic closest to wild canines. So I'm going to cover these topics: the olfactory receptors, the breed differences, the functional OR receptor genes, other considerations, and then the Anubis Shepherd genetic goals. Now, an olfactory receptor is in the epithelium of the nose. It provides a sense of smell. It has a cilia that contains the receptors in its membrane, and it can detect specific chemicals, and that's what we classify as a smell. Right now, the current research is about how many olfactory receptors a dog has, not what they do. This research has shown that some measurable correlation to the number of olfactory receptors a canine has to the scent capabilities of the canine in testing. Even a small increase in olfactory receptors seems to have a measurable effect on scent capabilities. Scent capabilities equals raw talent, not trainability. Those are based on other genetic environmental factors. So the breed differences is wolves on average have 300 million olfactory receptors, generally more than top scent dogs. Siberian Huskies have 220 to 300 million. And they're on par with wolves and on average more than top scent dogs. German Shepherds have a maximum of 225 million, slightly less than wolves, and at the low end of Siberian Huskies. Belgian Malinois, on average, have 220 million. They don't match wolves, and they're at their low end of Siberian Huskies, yet both of these breeds are higher than most domestic breeds. Functional OR is the FORGE gene. Lots of things in genetics are complex, and some things are just what they sound like. FORGE refers to genes that are functional, therefore they work, versus ones that are present but not functional. Research has shown, with the comparison of the olfactory receptor subgenomes in 30 breeds of domestic dogs to that of the gray wolf, and the closest outgroup, the coyote, determined that domestication has resulted in a significant loss of functional OR genes in dogs relative to wild canines. And polymorphism matters. While the number of genes may be similar, there are differences in the polymorphism, the variations of those genes, which could lead to differences in scent detection abilities. Wild wolves and coyotes, they have on average the highest number of functional OR genes, 854. The coyote has the smallest number of FORGE, which are 801. Ancient breeds, Siberian Huskies, they on average have a higher number of functional OR genes than modern breeds and a lower number than wild canines. Ancient breeds have on average a FORGE of 785. There appears to be less polymorphism in ancient breeds than with modern breeds. Modern canines, which is the Belgian Malinois and German Shepherd, they have the lowest number of functional OR genes of the 3 groups. Modern canines appear to have an average of around 750. The most visible polymorphism is seen in modern canines, which means they have the most changes to their genes. So other considerations is a recent comparative morphological study of the crib form plate The quantifiable bony imprint of olfactory nerves entering the brain from the nose revealed that domestic dogs had a reduced olfactory skeleton relative to the gray wolf, and that, contrary to claims of breeders, scent breeds showed no enhanced olfactory phenotypes relative to other breeds, yet ancient breeds did show more comparable results to wild canines. This has to do with the fact that they retain a strong olfactory genes, the V1R and the V2R, for tracking prey over long distances. And yes, this matters. The Anubis shepherd genetic goals, the first general question is, why not cross with wolves for the best results? And generally, my answer to all questions about why I'm making breeding choices will all come back to one word: genetics. Wolves' superior scent stems from wild genetics, but their independence, stress around humans, and lack of domestication, which means they have no WBSCR17 friendliness gene, makes them untrainable for scent work. That's the problem. Wolves don't have trainability, and as hard as Siberian Huskies are, they are trainable. The goal for the Anubis Shepherd program is to get our breed to maximize the number of olfactory receptors possible through introducing a breed capable of passing those genes, the Siberian Husky. The Siberian Husky gives us the availability of a higher number of functional OR genes, another bonus for adding their available genes. There are many other undiscovered genes, and the 99.9% versus 99.8% genetic differences are huge in the genetic world. Another factor to consider is under controlled testing of various dog breeds in a food detection tasks, they found that Siberian Huskies perform best, outperforming both German Shepherds and Belgian Malinois. And this is all about raw talent, not trainability. So you cannot make genes appear in your dog breed if they are not already there. In order to get these genes, it's required to introduce them, either through genetic modification with CRISPR or other genetic engineering, or introducing those genes through a responsible and controlled breeding program focused on genes for the entire process from function to form. Now, the next episode that we're going to do is going to be on litter number 2 and on early scent development in our puppies. That's a video, you'll get actual video, and I show some of the ways that we work with our puppies from very early age to get them really highly capable scenters. Now, we do all scent priming on all of our litters. You may not want a puppy that's for scent detection, but all of our puppies come primed for that because we want them to go in as many working homes as possible for search and rescue, police detection work, bomb detection work. There's all kinds of scent detection, including there's just the fun of scent competition for people who like that. There's nose work clubs, there's AKC scent and tracking. There's a lot to do, and it's a lot of fun to have a dog that can track. So I'm posting a real video this time. This is the intro, but I want to let you know this is pictures of litter 2. At the very end, after the video, I'll be posting some updated pictures so you can fast forward through the video or watch the whole thing, and then you'll be able to see these puppies all grown up. The other thing I want to clarify is there's a couple places I kind of mix my language up. So this video is about creating food drive without having food aggression, right? So it's all about food drive without food aggression. Enjoy the video. So this is an example of how we do initial tracking and drive enhancement. So first of all, you gotta realize you cannot do this if you don't have full bowls of food all the time. If not, you'll create food aggression. So these guys have food constantly, 100% of the time. So as you see here, 2 full bowls. This is all the time. So these are down a little bit because they've eaten this morning, but again, they start every day with these 2 big, huge bowls. So now we do lots of toys. They have toys from a very young age. So here we have, so they're ready to do toy drive. Now they're used to toys of every kind, of every texture. So we're gonna do that. But now what we're gonna do, now they're used to high value treats. So I'll show you these. I'll go right here, in the middle of remodel, painting. So these are high value treats. We create a great deal of drive, but again, I don't want food competition. So try to move myself to a better angle where I can get a better view here. Excuse me, I'm not good at this camera stuff. I'll get better, and my camera's kind of limited. So I want the most area. So how we increase food drive and tracking ability using their nose is the toys are all thrown out into the toys. Thank goodness, nobody's being aggressive. Everybody's in a hurry. We don't hear any aggression. Okay, because they're well fed. And we do this. They know there's lots of toys. So it's about looking through the toys with their nose to find the goodie. So this increases food drive. And again,
If you don't have enough food down, this will only create food aggression. So in order to create tracking puppies, you don't want them to be food aggressive. That's a myth. You want them to have food drive, and some people will tell you that depriving them of food does that. They have a plain kibble, nothing special, just enough to make sure it's nutritious. They do not get high value food treats, but when we do this, again, they're looking all the way through the toys, searching continuously. Now, the best part about this too is that some will be missing, but it also increases them to continue to use their nose without an immediate reward. They know to just look. They're looking for something. So they continue to look. And another thing it does is the more that you do this, the more it has them stick to it. It creates the ability to stick to the track longer. They're more willing to be dedicated to the task. They're still searching. Quite a few of those toys have been gone, and I'm standing here right in their little area with them. They're continuing to look carefully in and out of everywhere. This is, again, now I could, right now we're just creating food drive without food aggression, right? Now the other thing is now you can't do this independent of, they have to have an independent lesson, which I will film separately. Obviously you have to do it separate. This is about food drive. I don't try to hand feed them now that things are too excited. So we also have separate areas though where we do hand feeding where they know how to take a goodie carefully. But they've searched it. Now the thing is the one thing I want to make sure they've gone through here multiple times with their noses before they've decided it's finally, okay, I've checked everywhere now. I've fully checked all of the zone for the item I'm looking for. Okay, now where are they all back to? Now that they've checked the item for the zone, the first thing they do is, another thing is learning to retrieve back to me to look for that. They looked at it, they found all the things they want, and the focus is coming back to me. Okay, what else do we have to do? All of them are all very interested in that. We do a lot of eye contact. So see, all of them are normally looking right up. Hi, baby. They're always looking. All of them make very good eye contact. Look at those very good ears. Very, very cute. Good kids, huh? The big boy right there. Again, these guys will stick to it. They are very, very driven. Sense, thinking, okay, that's. So we're going to do another high drive food one so you can see, again, the food drive's there. Now, this is a beef liver. We do the really high value treats. So, and again, you notice no food aggression. There's a key to that. Again, I need to stress. You cannot accomplish this, and these are 10 puppies. Notice there's no aggression. They have no meanness towards the task. They're looking. They're like, I'm looking, and it creates competitives. They want to find the item faster, which increases their drive for the finding of the item, and later on, their drive towards finding whatever you want them to. So this is a tracking enhancement trick we do with all the puppies. So all of our puppies that come from here come with this type of thing. And if again, you'll notice they're looking all around the objects. Now, just so that you realize that this isn't done with just high value toys, treats, right? We have another item, and I should have had that down. I thought I did. And I can't pause this stinking video on this process. Okay. Now, the other thing is so to know that they've been scent aware. Now they know the items, sound, clicker trainings are really susceptible to clicker training. Everybody sits at attention, if you'll notice. So it's very easy to say, okay, well, you can train your puppy to find the treat. We create all kinds of high value items here. So this is a green item. They heard it. Just a couple to show you. It's Chlorelia. So it's a green treat, which is really good for them. It's doing their thing, but it's not food. It's not a food item. They know an item went down. They know what the item is. I showed it first on the ground. Put a couple down so they can see what it was. Here are the little crunching, they're little crunchies. So we did a chicken, freeze-dried chicken. We did freeze-dried beef. You think, okay, well, we're so driven, we just want food. We just want the good stuff. No, this is good stuff too. This is just another type of thing, and the drive is for it, and they learn to drive for fun. This is competitive. This is where using the natural competitive between them without the aggression. Low aggression, high competitive. They will compete with each other as long as they're not hungry. Again, no hunger, full bowls. So this is what non-hungry puppies will do in a competitive nation, and they've been doing this since they were very young. We have started this type of training since they were probably around 5 weeks old. So they've had at least 5 weeks of this type of find the treat, find the encouragement, use your nose. We're always about use your nose, and then come back and wait attentively and patiently for the next part of the drill. Again, they're going to fiddle with each other because they haven't been given a command. They just know nothing's going to happen unless they come back and they sit politely at attention. So they're like, we've looked. I've looked completely. Now, if you'll see over here, this is, I'm sure, one of my two that is extremely, they have 2 or 3 of them that will outlast the others. They will keep looking a long time. And almost all of them, though, will go through at least the whole program 3 to 4 times to ensure themselves they've used their nose and they cannot find anything else. Now, one of the nice things about this is there's nothing left. There is a competitiveness to doing it. If I don't throw anything else, the next thing they do, well, they'll go back for another round. Let's see if I missed something. They'll go back to using their noses, back to seeing what they can find. All of my puppies are always focused on what we can find. Now, again, we'll have high charger. Yeah, one of my 2 in there. My male. He likes to lick my other male's face, and then the other male gets a little grouchy with him, so he snips his nose. Not enough to hurt him, but enough to make him upset. Dogs, that's what happens. So these are 10 puppies in here. So now, again, like I said, we have high. The nice way is once you want to pick a toy for them to play with, it's easy to just limit them down to that one toy. But they've started from a very young age, and then it also, I focus on the toys instead of eating everything they're not supposed to. It's kind of helpful when they go to a home. When they go to home, these guys are used to playing with toys. All you have to do when you get them is refocus them towards whatever toy you want. Whenever they're on something you don't want, give them what you do want, and they are very toy aware, so don't have any excuses for yourself that these puppies don't know how to play with their toys like they're supposed to. Give them their toys, say, play with your toys, not mine. Learn the my stuff thing. We have a thing of what's my stuff. That's your stuff, this is my stuff. But again, we have no aggression, and then some of them are still looking around. They're like, well, they're playing with their toys because they usually will, but they know that the game is done. This is my little girl here, so you can tell she's extra attentive. She's like, what else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? This is my little one I'm keeping here. She is a dark sable that received the agouti coloring and the Malinois mask. So she is quite adventurous. She's got super black legs, and she's the littlest one. I'm not sure how big she's going to get. We thought she was a full dwarf, but she's catching up a little bit now. She was the runt. All right, well, there's a little video for now. Okay, first one.
Well, if you stay till the end, this is Centurion. He's going to be the stud of our next litter and the one that we hope will produce our actual dog that looks like our goal. And these are his brothers and sisters, and so I wanted to show you this litter all grown up and see how consistent they were. Now, this consistency isn't an accident. It is actually planned breeding, knowing the genetics of both of the dogs involved and how they would mix together. And they came out, I can't believe, more perfect than we wanted. The fuzzy ones look alike, and the short-haired ones look alike. The consistency in the litter is just amazing, and we hope to have that with the next litter also. This is probably the funnest video here. This is face training, and we love to do this with our puppies. It's fun. It's kissies. But when you have puppies and they come home, they're very apt to bite. And if you have kids, it's really a problem. So we want our puppies primed to know how to be around someone's face, just not to be nippy all the time. And it also is a really good way to create a bond with them. So we really hope that you enjoy this part. And there's a bunch of cute little miscellaneous videos of puppies doing all kinds of fun stuff as well as the face training. I hope you enjoy.
So first off, excuse, we're in the middle of a remodel. So the floors are being done up, sheetrock's all being done. But this is to show how these puppies are naturally just great companions. This is them. This is my chair. I'm doing a little bit of work here at my bar, and this is all of the puppies voluntarily. This is just where they all decided to come and sleep. They all circle around my chair so they can be as close to me as possible. These guys are, like I said, from the beginning, I want them in the house. We want them with me. I want them learning how to be companions, and look how great they are. Training starts day one here.
So it's great to show how wonderful our puppies are, and they're wonderful in the house because we train them to be in the home with you. Most of our puppies, over 50%, even puppies that go to working or military homes, 50% of them are going to go to home environments, and they need to be able to survive there, and a lot of them can't. So we want to make sure all of our puppies are very home trained. They know how to be in the house, how to behave in the house. They come most of the way potty trained. And then we do something else called face training. So I'll let you watch a little bit of face training and see what you think of it.
This is face training. So this is where she knows how to be here. My face without being aggressive or anything like that. So we know how to get kisses all over our face. And we know how to not be mean or to do any biting or to be anything rough. So we practice that. And that's face training.
Pretty baby.
So this is Black Collar. This is the little boy. And so we've done face training. And I've described that to people and they wanted to know what it meant. So face training is showing that they can be right next to your face, because this is what kids do. Kids always put their face down, and I don't want anybody to get bit. Now you have to reinforce this training. It won't be automatic. If you just let them go crazy, they will bite. But they know how to be gentle towards your face. And this is Black Collar.
Sorry.
Teal. This is Teal Collar. This is a boy. This is a big boy. So he's going to be shorter haired. And so I've had people ask me about face training. So what's face training? Now he's real excited still, see? But what we can do is we can put, tongue in the mouth. But now we have no biting. Even though he's excited, he's not trying to bite me in the face. Now he's a very excited boy here. You sleepy kids. So he doesn't want to sit still for it, but he is being still careful with my face, if you can see. But he's just like, I just want to play. I just want to play somewhere. Okay, but this is Teal Collar boy, so he has the same face training, and he's just like, I'm busy. I want to go do something. He's a big boy. He's a very big boy, and he just wants to go. But, so he knows face training also, but he's just like, I want out of here to go play. Orange Flower Collar. She's a girl. She's going to be fluffy. You can tell she really likes her face training. She can't wait for her kisses. She's like, give me all the kisses I can get. And that shows how gentle they can be. Now they know how. Now again, they get overly excited, they will do that. But you have to, it's up to you to follow through with making sure she knows to be nice. Be gentle with my face. There we go. Any sign of aggression, I will tell them no, and I will correct them and have them stop. But this is Orange Flower Girl. She's a very beautiful, fun girl. So this is Sailor Collar Boy. He's a boy. He's going to have the shorter hair, more Malinois coat. And this is our face training on him. And again, I was asked about face training, so I wanted to show it with each one of the puppies, about how gentle they are around your face, because we practice. Because when you get around kids and that, the first thing they want to do is lovies them. And the first thing that happens is they get bit. So I want my puppies to know how to be around someone's face. It's very important for them to know how to act around a person's face. So this is Sailor Boy, and he is a cutie pie, and he's going to be a big boy.
So these are the puppies all grown up. If you've seen the other video of the scent training, you would have seen these pictures. This is just up right now. If you just want to see a bunch more cute videos of puppies, you are welcome to keep watching, because that's all that's kind of left. It's just an introduction of the puppies that were from this litter, show different people what they were like when I was still placing them in homes and getting them out there to find their new forever homes. Now, I try to keep in touch with all of my puppy owners. There's a few I've lost contact with, but for the most part, I like to keep in touch once or twice a year and get updated pictures, and so I hope you enjoyed those.
So isolated to a little puppy room. And isn't that a cutie pie there? This is Black Collar. Yes, he's a little boy. And he's going to be fluffy. He's going to be a gooey looking. So he's going through what they call a color change. So he's much lighter than he will be when he grows up. He will be absolutely a very black
black color all the way from feet to that, because his overcoat will grow in when his second layer of fur comes in. Agoutis go through a coat change. It's a really big deal, and so make sure when you get one that you're not expecting one color. If you ever get an agouti husky, I have pictures of his dad I'm going to put through and show the color phases that they go through. But, so, he's a cutie pie. Hi. This is the blue collar. This is one I'm keeping. He's the only one that has one blue eye. He's real rambunctious right now, so he's making it hard for me to get a thing. Everybody's on the other side of the gate here. So we are in the room. We have to close the door. So he has the agouti mask. So the black mask gene will override eye color often. So you can have blue eyes available, but they'll be overridden by the gene. The Malinois mask seems to override the blue eyes. He inherited the agouti mask, which has shading around the eyes. Come on. He'll be still and see the gray shading around his eyes. So he doesn't have a straight black face. And that is what allowed that blue eye to come through. Now, hopefully we'll break that mask gene a little bit as we go. But for now, it still overrides blue eyes. But he's a cutie. It's my baby. My little blue-collared boy. So this is our whelping room. So they have a whole bedroom to themselves. So hi, baby bub. This is blue collar. This is my one boy, my one puppy that has one blue eye. All the other ones are dark eyes. This is the only one that had one blue eye. Come here, Bubba. Come on, Bubba. You're such a good boy. Such a good boy. Yes. So if you'll see, he'll be still for a minute. We'll get to see the reason he has a blue eye is he has the agouti mask. The Malinois mask is a little too dominant for the blue eyes to come through. So see the shading around his eyes? That's the agouti mask. This is pink collar girl. Hard to keep her still because she wants to be with you. She's like, I want to visit. I just want lovies. I'm just a lovey girl. She is a very, very lovey girl. She's very pretty. Now she's got real classic Malinois markings. She's got the Malinois mask, that full black face. She's going to have very dark legs. Now again, she's in a little bit of a color change too. Now the Malinois sable goes through a little different color change. They're very black when they're born. And then they lighten up when they're littler, and then they start getting dark right away. So this age group, she'll just get darker and darker. And then the agoutis actually go through a little different thing, and they go really, really lighter and lighter and lighter until they're 6 months old. And then they get that. She's just going to get normally darker from here. She's gorgeous. She's a very good girl. If you don't, it's hard to get a video because she's like, I just want to be with you. Just pet me. We're supposed to be friends because I'm a nice girl. Oh, don't show that you could be a toddler. She's got the husky talking. So this is turquoise collar. Very gorgeous boy. He's got a little bit of white on his toes. He's going to definitely be the Malinois colored sable. He's going to have a shorter coat. He's not going to be a full short coat, but they all have double coat. These guys, come on. I know. So we're in the whelping room right now. So this is where the baby's at. So very cute pie. Come here. Come on, sweetie pie. Come on. I know everyone's out on the other side. Come on.
Qualifier right now, we are under construction. So floors are being done, everything. Beautiful new covers have put in. So, excuse that. This is Purple Collar. She is a beautiful girl. Very beautiful. She's getting all of her color in, so she's going to be very dark. She's getting all that, and they change color a little bit as they go, and they go through that color change at different ages. See if we can get her ears up. Hey, come on, you're making us all dizzy. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, sweetie pie. Cutie, oh God, they were up for a minute, cutie tootie. They were up for a minute, you cute pie. All right. It's very much easier to do this when I have a helper. We don't have a helper today. Look at that little tail, though. Such a happy girl. Purple collar girl. This is hot pink colored girl. She's the last of the fluffy ones. She's the last with the longer coat. What a beautiful girl she is. Oh, she's so sweet. Look at that girl. So super hard for me to talk to them and do the videos because all they want to do is then get close to me. So
But this is good. I mean, it's very obvious they want to be companions. They want to be next to you at all times. Look how pretty she's going to bring her ears up. But this is hot pink collared girl. And she'll have a longer coat. And not as long as her dad's. More like a shepherd length. Look at that little tail wagging. Oh, it's my pretty girl. It's my pretty girl. Okay, so disclaimer, under construction. Floors, cupboards, new appliances. That is actually not from puppies. That is from their male grandpa who came in with no manners at all. He wasn't raised in a house. So my puppies are raised in a house with manners. This is turquoise or teal collar. Everyone calls the color a little different. He's a gorgeous boy. This boy is going to be huge. His grandfather is 90 pounds and just massive. And this guy, see those paws? See that face? That guy is going to be a big, big boy. And right now, he's looking really mellow. There's another video where he's doing face training where he just looks like he's just a crazy boy. He's got both personalities. That was really hard to do those. Someone really wanted some videos, and they were outside playing, and so I brought him in from the middle of play. This is at the end of play. They're like, oh, I've been playing. I'm tired. Leave me alone. So you're going to get, the videos are not going to always get the personality. But he does have high drive. There's with Daddy, okay? Same qualifier. This is a kitchen under construction. New appliances, do that. Just doing floors. Come on, little puppy. Come on. This is Sailor Collar. And we're going to get a little double video because he's in here with his brother with blue collar. He's a pretty boy. Okay, let's see if we can start this again. See if we can start. Okay. This is Sailor Collar. And excuse me, under construction. Floors being done. I say that more than once. New cupboards, do that. But some people are here, it's the first time. So that's Dad right there. This is Sailor Collar. Okay, itchy ear. Okay, third try. So, under construction. New cupboards, new appliances, doing floors and sheetrock. So this is Sailor Collar. He's beautiful. He is going to be very dark colored. They're all really beautiful, but he's going to have that real dark fur. He's just getting his color in. Sweet boy, good boy. Good boy. He was sleeping. I woke him up from a nap. You put your ears up for me. Can you? Ah, you're so cute. You're so cute, sleepy boy. Come on, sleepy boy. He's like, I'm just wandering around. I want to go back in my bed. So we use crates here. They love them. There's no needing to make him go in. He went in because he enjoys it. So they're a den. This is why I always recommend these ones. I'm going to do a video on the type of beds. But he's a sweetie. I'll try to get a better video of it. But he's just sleepy.
Now, we're going to have a miniature version of the Anubis Shepherd, and we'll have a regular size version up to an extra large. The size of the Anubis Shepherd is the only thing we really are not sure how the genetics are going to turn out, because we're not sure about how dog genes are for small dogs. We carry 3 different small dog genes in our Malinois, and that is going to be very interesting to see how it comes out. We've already produced dogs that are around 40 pounds. We're not sure how much smaller they'll go, but why don't you learn about that next? This episode is about the genes that Malinois already carry that will automatically create a mini Anubis Shepherd. And yes, there are videos, so stay tuned and keep watching. So the genes so far that affect dog size are the IGF-1, the STC2, and the GHR191K. So next I'm going to show you a video of T-Rex, and he's a 100% Malinois, and he carries the double IGF-1 gene. So let's see what he looks like.
This is a big stud. This is how much bigger he is than everyone else. Do you see him? His neck, his head. He's in with the puppies. He's a nice boy. He's a very nice boy. You see how much bigger he is? He's going to try to pee on her. Oh, he's a male. He's all male. He's like, oh, I'm the big bad boy. He's a very, very nice boy, though. But he's huge. He makes twice of. He's nearly 100 pounds. Nice boy. He's got most of his OFA certifications are all done on him. We've even done extra ones like eyes and ears and hearing and everything he doesn't need to have done. So, such a good boy, though. Look at him with the puppies. He's a really, really nice man. Great temperament, and just look at his size. He's just massive. 2 of the puppies in this litter are going to be probably as big as him or almost as big as he is. And he DNA tests. He's 100%.
As you can see, T-Rex is huge, yet he carries a double copy of the IGF-1 gene because Malinois also carry an undiscovered override for this and other small dog genes. So the IGF-1 plays a significant role in determining dog size, and it's a specific variant that's been discovered, and it's also present in Malinois, large breeds, but we don't, it's insulin-like growth factor is the name of it. So this is kind of a pretty well-known gene, but the thing that turns it off and makes some dogs large when they have it is what's not very well known. Now we have total efforts to map the STC2 gene, but the precise cause of body size and this gene isn't really known for sure yet. So that's one of those ones that's still in the research phase. And it's kind of single nucleotide polymorphisms. And sometimes I pronounce these wrong, sorry about that, but I'm pretty good at some of them, not good at others. Now, the GHRE191K gene in dogs, it's one of several other ones influencing it. And this is another one that's specifically related to the growth hormone receptor. And so a dog with an AA has the gene, it's likely to be smaller, and then a GG means they're supposed to be bigger. But again, the Malinois is one that is an exception to the gene. Now, there's a big difference between the STC gene and the IGF-1 and then the GHR genes. But when they all together, it especially normally creates a much smaller dog. Meet Tootsie. Oh, we're having a rambunctious morning this morning, but I want you to see her next to the other dog. She is half the size. As you see, Tootsie is smaller than all of the other dogs. She's about 38 pounds. Yet her brother, Centurion, I'm going to show you next, he's got the same gene setup. He's 87 pounds. So he's hopefully going to be the sire of our next litter that we're expecting in June. So why don't you check him out along with the female Zara that he was bred to. We are on breeding watch. Now, I learned how to do shorts. It's the angle of the camera. And so these two little fun kids, these two are super fun. Like, of course, all of his little hopping is off this camera. I do not like this angle, and I realize that's how you do a short. So again, this is I've done back and forth, and some of them turned out to be shorts on my breeding channel, but they were just on accident. I didn't know what a short was. I thought it was short was the time limit, not the way you have the camera focused. So that is Zara. I've done one little one I thought was a short on her. I'm going to do a real short on her now that I know how. And this is Centurion. Churi is a husky Malamute, half and half. Zara is a husky shepherd, half and half. Zara has had one litter, and her daughter had one litter, our first F1. And Centurion, he's a gorgeous boy. So as you see, Centurion does carry this IGF-1 gene. He carries one copy. So quite a few of the puppies in this litter will end up with a copy of that gene. Now, but Zara doesn't carry any copies of any small dog gene at all. So we're expecting maybe 1 to 2 puppies of this litter to be small. Hey, I'm doing 2 of these because a lot of the first one was about how I just learned how to do shorts. So this one's going to be more about them. But it was a very pretty picture of them. I got a couple of those. Zara! Come on, Zara. Come on, Zara. Oh, there's my Zara. There's my Zara. There's my Churi. Do your little leap. There's my boy. There's my leap in the air boy. He is, I'm sorry, I'm making myself a little dizzy with them. This camera's a little hard to do on this angle because you can't get as much in. You have to get further back or all kinds of things. I'm learning it. This is Centurion. So the important thing about this litter is you see he has a partial blue eye. He carries the duplicate gene for blue eyes. He carries all of the genes I want for the coloring, for everything. Zara carries the blue eye gene and some other genes I really like. And she did not come from a sable German Shepherd, so she doesn't carry the sable. From now on, we'll probably be working more sable German Shepherds in. She's just, these are too fun. If their puppies come out half as fun as they are, this is going to be a super fun litter. Woo-woo-woos. There's my woos. So what do I mean by breeding watch? Zara is in heat. This is who we want to breed her to. There's no guarantees in breeding. They have to cooperate unless I do an actual infusion, and if they don't breed, I may choose to do that with a vet. This would be his first time breeding. He's a young man, and since he's never done it before, they don't always get it right the first time.
These two will hopefully produce my first one that will look like him with 2 blue eyes. We are really excited. This should be the fulfillment of the fruit of our labors for 3 years of precise breeding versus just having a bunch of puppies and seeing how it comes out. This has been a very precise process, and then once we know the right breeding combinations, then we can pick up the pace. But I don't want a bunch of puppies that are produced that don't contribute to the breeding program. It's just a waste. All right, let's see what happens. This gorgeous boy right here, we are on pregnancy watch. We got a tie yesterday. We got a tie. Huh, good boy? Got the job done 2 times now, but 1 time for sure. We got a full tie yesterday. We're going for another tie today, and we are on pregnancy watch. Wish us luck. This should be the first litter that looks exactly like we've been planning. Proof of concept. And then everything starts rolling from there. That gorgeous boy. Hopefully the daddy. Okay, now in the next little video segment, you're going to get to meet Delphinium and Kailea if you haven't already seen them in some shorts we've put up. Now, if you'll notice, between just these 2 females here, we get 3 totally different small dog genes. Now, Delphinium's and Kailea are going to be bred coming up soon, and we expect to maybe have some small versions of the Anubis out of them also. But go ahead and check out the next video and take a look at the fact that they're full-size dogs, yet they have these small dog genes. Rambunctious. So, this is Tootsie. She's about 40 pounds. I kind of want you to see her next to the other dogs here. See how much smaller that she is? So the dog next to her is Delphinium and Kai. I wanted you to see them all together. Kai holds a small dog gene. Look how tall she is. Delphinium, pretty much a regular sized Malinois. She carries 2 small dog genes. And then we have Tootsie over there. My little girl who carries the gene and doesn't have the Malinois override. Something in Malinois overrides the small dog gene, and they don't end up small, but they carry it. And when they're bred with a Husky or a German Shepherd or another dog that doesn't carry the gene, then it becomes expressed. We weren't sure at first that Tootsie wasn't maybe a pituitary dwarf or any other types. We wanted to make sure of that, so I ended up keeping her for sure that everyone wanted my little girl. But she's about 40 pounds of sweetness. All right, so these are the genes of a litter of Delphinium. You saw her in the last video. She's the very black looking one. She's actually a black sable. We'll go over the colors in another video about gene colors. But because this is more about size. She carries 2 small dog genes. She's being bred to Bracken, and then they have a high chance of producing several small versions. I thought I was doing so good. I'm doing this video, I'm talking, I got good shots. Yeah, none of it. So this is Delphinium. She is not actually black. If you look very closely, you can see that she is actually what you call a black sable. She's not going to be still for me right now. And this is Bracken. Hey, Bracky. Bracken and Delphinium are going to have puppies. Bracken is 3/4 Husky and 1/4 Shepherd. And Delphinium is all Malinois. Now, we have a very low chance in this litter of actually getting an expression of blue eyes, even though they'll carry the blue eye gene, because her mask gene is what makes her so black. The masking gene is what overrides everything else, along with some other color mixes, and that should be a really beautiful upcoming litter. All right, so now these are the genes set up for Kailea, and then who she's going to be bred to is Blabby, and I'm going to show you a little video of them next. And they have a lower chance of producing a small dog gene. Again, the STC2 gene is a little bit more unknown, so we'll see what happens, but this should be a litter of super athletes, and we'll actually see how this gene is expressed. This is Blabakaine. That's Kai. These 2 are going to have babies. Hi. And yes, so he's got lots of coat, she's got none. Now, when I first started this, I thought I wanted this really short coat she has. Then I saw her tussle with some of the other ones, and you see these scars on her face? It's because she doesn't have enough protection. She's got a few scars other places, and those are just from play. So really, really short hair isn't safe for your dog. She's gorgeous. Kai.
you show them how high you can jump? This girl can jump 6 foot high from a standing position. She is a super athlete. Excuse me, there's a few dogs. It's potty time in the morning. And I'm getting a few videos, so. And this boy is probably the sweetest thing you've ever seen in your life. And look at those feet. He's just a monster. They should have beautiful babies. All right, so with all 3 genes in one dog, we're not sure the size we're going to end up with. We could end up with a Chihuahua size, or we could end up with a Beagle size. We could end up with collie size. We have no idea in the long run. So genes are very funny sometimes with that. And because some of these genes aren't really well researched, we're going to have some time to figure that out. So these are going to have to be careful because you do not want a mom that's too small trying to birth puppies that are too big. It can actually end up killing them. So lots to go on, and this is going to have to be a real careful part of the program. Well, hope to see you next week. Thank you very much. Hope you like and subscribe.